1 in 5 households and 1 in 8 businesses here in South Africa have fallen victim to crime, as Police Minister Newzroom is expected to release crime stats for the second quarter of this year. Newzroom Afrika will be in conversation with various stakeholders about the scourge and the impact of crime where they are. Our business editor, Xolani Mbanjwa, is in the field talking to the business sector. This is for the 24-25 crime stats, Xolani. Businesses are spending billions of rands on safety, security measures. We think about extortion as well. We think about construction mafias. What's the cost of crime to the South African economy?
Good morning, Iman. Indeed, there's startling statistics when you look at the cost of crime to the South African economy. The World Bank released a report last year on crime in South Africa, and it says that the estimate is 700 billion rands to the South African economy, or the conservative estimate is 10% of GDP. And if you are looking for that report as well, it also actually says that most crime in South Africa is economic, because crime is also deepening the inequalities in the country. And in their view, South Africa has been for many decades within the top 10 most crime-ridden countries in the world, and it's going to be continuing to be so. But this morning we are talking to Business Against Crime here at Business Leadership South Africa, an organization that brought businesses together to fight crime and come up with policies to actually make sure that they put a dent on the scourge. I'm joined now by the CEO, that is Dr. Graham Wright. Graham, thank you so much for your time this morning. Let's talk about the fact that this is your second stint as CEO of Business Against Crime. Is there any difference to what you left behind those many years ago to what you have come back to in terms of the crime scourge in the country?
Yeah, thank you, Xolani. Very stark differences. I think the major difference that I noticed when I came back was the erosion of the state capabilities over the period of the state capture. So that was over a period of 10 years, probably since 2010, 2011, until more recently. So the stark impact has really been on the capability of the state to deal with crime, especially organized crime. That's the one factor. The second change or difference has been to the extent to which organized crime has flourished in the country. Now, organized crime spreads across all the different industries and also impacts communities deeply as well. The worrying factor really is that organized crime is now embedded in communities, in the way of life of South Africa, and almost part of the economic upbringing or the well-being of the country. So we need to really deal with that as a nation. The third difference has been the requirement of business to step up to the plate, and the extent to which they've done that over the last 10 years as well. I think if you reflect on that period, business has really provided incredible resources in fighting crime. They've had to do that to protect their own economies and businesses. So we're building on that as Business Against Crime to see where we can actually leverage that and harness that capability. But those are really the stark differences in the last 10 years.
Let's talk about how much to date have businesses contributed. It's billions of rands, but how much can you quantify in terms of what business has spent on the fight against crime?
That's a difficult question to answer. The reality of the matter is that each business and each business sector has had to invest billions of rand into fighting crime, not only to secure their own businesses, but also to coordinate and to support government efforts as well. So it's very difficult to put an estimate on that, but it would run into billions of rand that's been invested by business.
That is a huge amount of money that should be going into job creation or expansion of businesses. As we await the Minister of Police to give an update on 100 days in office and also the second quarter crime statistics, what would you like him to know? I'm sure you've had engagements in the past, if you haven't, but what would you like him to know about what the needs are in South Africa in terms of crime fighting from the economic business perspective?
Look, the Minister has been very active since his appointment, along with the National Commissioner and the police. So we applaud him for that, and we support his efforts. The reality of the situation he's finding, I believe, is that the extreme violence associated with crime in the country, which needs to be addressed, the organized nature of crime and how that then spills over into the different sectors and the different communities as well. Those are the issues that he's dealing with. I know that he's very proactive and operationally orientated, together with the National Commissioner in mobilizing the police forces as security structures. We've been aligned as far as business is concerned to see where we can support the Minister and the police in providing specialist resources and skills into the areas of need. And that's really our focus, is how can we leverage the business skills and resources to support law enforcement in particular. But beyond that, we also operate and support the National Prosecuting Authority and other dimensions of the criminal justice system as well.
Graham, thank you so much for your time. That is Graham Wright, Dr. Graham Wright, the CEO at Business Against Crime. They have a new initiative which is called Eye and Ear Initiative, a campaign that is making sure that South Africans are the eyes and ears of crime. When you see something, say something. Back to you in studio, Iman.
Xolani, it's a big aspect of the conversation when it comes to the impacts of crime, because we know some estimates say at least 10% of GDP is 10% of GDP affected by the impact of crime.